All right, we are live and ready to go for the fourth round of the 2020 NFL Draft. Now, last night we had some really exciting picks go down. My favorite, of course, a lot of you guys saw it. The clip was just uploaded. Lloyd Cushenberry to the Denver Broncos. I absolutely loved that pick. I was very excited for that. So let's go ahead and pull this up and get ready for the fourth round of the 2020 NFL Draft. Nobody in the chat just yet. We'll probably have some guys jumping in here really soon. A lot of guys in the locker room. We're looking forward to it starting. Yo, Mr. Ranger, first person on the stream, welcome to the chat. All right, I'm very excited to kick this one off. We are going to go through the entire... Yo, Jeff, 49ers got Trent Williams for the Redskins for 5th-round pick and a 2021 pick. What a move. Wow, that's impressive. I like that move. I think that's smart on their part. Let me go ahead and let the guys in the locker room know that we're live. All right, we are live. Let me go ahead and cut off my air conditioner. That's a little louder than I was expecting. All right, there we go. Went ahead and cut off the air conditioner so we can jump right into business. That Trent Williams pick is interesting. We're going to tell Jared to come. All right, sure, bring him on down. Always exciting to have some more people there. Yo, Beast Gaming, what's good? Welcome to the stream. Very excited for this one. What up? I was happy with the Cushenberry pick. Yeah, I really liked the Cushenberry pick. That one was a ton of fun. Very, very happy with what they did there. I would say that was Denver's best pick last night. I think some of you guys probably saw, excuse me, some of you guys probably saw my reaction to it. If not, that's up on the channel. That pick was A+. Yes, it was. Cushenberry was the center for LSU. He's a big part of the reason that Burrow was able to set so many records. So you've got to take that kind of talent. You can't pass up somebody as good as Cushenberry, especially if he fell all the way to midway through the third round. I think that's just an A+ all around. 3 Denver fans. Yes, I love getting to meet up with some Denver fans. All right, so I'm going to go over here to the NFL app, and then we can start calling out the picks. So now Cushenberry can protect Drew Lock. Exactly. Yeah, that's a big part of why I was excited. Dalton Reisner is okay, but I was definitely hoping that we could get somebody else right there. All right, we do have a few picks for the 4th round already in. Let's go ahead and call those out. So with the 107th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, this is the first pick of the 4th round. The Cincinnati Bengals have taken linebacker out of Appalachian State, Akeem Davis-Gaither. Great pick here. Always good to beef up your defense. I see nothing wrong with this one. Solid B+. It's a really good pick. It had some depth at that linebacker position. All around, I like what I'm seeing. Thoughts on the Trent Williams trade? I think that's pretty bold. A 5th-round pick is a little bit less than what I would have expected him to go for. Honestly, I would have thought that he would have been worth a little bit more than a 5th-round pick. But he's still a really great guy, really great athlete, and 5th-round pick's a steal in my opinion. And I'm sorry if I sound a little congested. I've only been awake for a few minutes, so still got that stuff. One more pick to the Broncos go. Yes, I'm very excited to see what we do here. With the 2nd overall pick in the 4th round, 108th overall altogether, the Washington Redskins took a tackle out of LSU. They took Sadiq Charles. Great addition to their offensive line right there. Again, LSU lineman that was instrumental in keeping Joe Burrow safe. All around great idea here. Then after that, the Raiders took John Simpson, the guard out of Clemson. After that, the New York Giants took Darnay Holmes, the cornerback out of UCLA. Thoughts about the Cardinals pick? Cardinals took Lakeith Futo, a D tackle out of Utah. I think that's a pretty good pick there. B minus, because they do have Chandler Jones. They got some other great guys on defense, on D line. I think their offensive line should have been a bit more. Only the fourth you're streaming. Most likely, yes. After the fourth round, I'm probably going to have to go. I've got some other stuff happening today as well that I've got to take care of, so I may only be here for the fourth round. Then you come on down. Harrison Bryant, the tight end, went to Florida Atlantic. And then Bent Barch, the tackle from St. John's, was drafted by the Jaguars. Once again, building up that offensive line to keep their quarterback safe. Deejay Wadham, the edge rusher from South Carolina, was taken by the Vikings, which is great. They needed a little bit of help on that edge rush. A minus on that pick. Still a very solid pick. Maybe not the best one available, but I give it a solid B plus, A minus, somewhere in that range. And the pick for the Broncos is in. I'm looking forward to seeing who we take. I could see us taking someone on offensive line. We still need help at O-guard. We still need help at offensive tackle. Tight end would be interesting here too. Maybe like a backup tight end. I see you saying that. We could take Ladarius Moss right here as our backup tight end. We did take a tight end. Okay. I haven't seen it on the app yet, but as soon as this pops up, I will make sure to call it out and to give my thoughts. Ladarius Moss would be a great backup tight end right here. Tight end out of LSU. There's several other really good tight ends on the board. I don't know the names of all of them offhand because, like I said, there's a lot of these guys that are still out there. A lot of great college athletes this year. Apparently, we did not get Moss. That's a bit frustrating. We are still waiting for it to load on the app because I do not know which tight end we got yet. Might have been Moss. Yes, Ladarius Moss is still on the board. Okay, yeah, you're right. We did not take Ladarius Moss here. Still got a pretty good tight end. Added a little bit of depth, maybe a little bit of competition for Noah Fant. So with the 118th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, my Denver Broncos took Albert Okwuegbunam. Sorry if I mispronounced that. The tight end out of Missouri. I think that's pretty good. This was Drew Lock's college tight end, by the way. So he's very familiar with this guy, which is always great to see. Have a little bit of camaraderie there. So yeah, great option here. This is probably more for the comfort for Drew Lock, getting to play with someone that he's familiar with. I give it a B minus just because there were a couple of better tight ends on the board, but they do have that Missouri connection. Jerry, I see you saying that. Moss still there, and Easton and Fromm. Yeah, those guys are still on the board. Surprised to see us skip on Moss, but I definitely understand drafting someone that he's comfortable with, he's familiar with. So I give this one an A minus, maybe a B plus, somewhere in that range. It's a pretty good pick. Maybe not the best tight end on the board, but I definitely understand the logic here. Give Drew Lock someone that he's personally familiar with, make him a little more comfortable. The Atlanta Falcons are on the clock right now, so we're going to get to see who they pick in a second. It's always going to be exciting to see who gets to go down to Falcon City. This could be when we lose Jake Butt. We could lose Hewerman because we signed him. There's going to be a lot of competition at that tight end spot. A lot of competition at tight end. I'm not a huge fan of this pick for Denver, but I completely understand why we did it. It gives him someone that he's comfortable with, and that's big. If you're comfortable with someone on your team and you know them personally, then it just makes it that much better. And I see the logic behind this. I personally probably would have taken Ladarius Moss here, but I do like the idea of reuniting old teammates. Drew Lock and the tight end both played in college together, so I see what they're doing here. Like I said, A minus, maybe a B plus. Heard the Redskins wanted to trade Trent to the Vikings, but Trent didn't want to go there. I haven't heard that, but that's kind of interesting. Fromm to the Patriots, that's definitely possible. They need someone to replace the hole Brady left. Drew Brady left a huge hole when he left that team, and they're going to have to address that, because if they don't address that, they're going to be in a very, very bad situation for that offense. Because if they can get their next, Brady, maybe they get their next Bledsoe, whatever, they could really build that team up in a hurry. Let's go ahead and see here. The Falcons are still on the clock. What time is it for me? It's 11:42. But I was up editing a couple of Madden videos till about 5. You guys should probably see those dropping tomorrow, maybe the next day. So I know it's a little bit a little bit early in some of y'all's time period. Central Time, gang. Yes, I am Central Time. So yeah, it's almost noon here. Trent Williams is comfortable with Shanahan because of his Redskin days. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan is a great coach, one of the best in the league, and they do have that Redskins connection, like you said. So that's a great. That's a camaraderie thing. They connect because of a past team, just like Drew Lock, just like he does with that tight end. And who knows, Albert may even be our starting tight end. I personally see him as a backup to Noah Fant. Noah Fant is an amazing player, and I don't see him being the backup to anybody. Ultra Nick, welcome to the stream. If you guys are new, for those of you that are in here and you enjoy what you're seeing, please give it a thumbs up. We're about to call out the Falcons pick. We're up to 8 now. This is pretty exciting. All right, the pick for the Falcons is in. Do I play regular Madden? A little bit, yes. I do have a Madden console on PS4. I will stream that off and on. But let's go ahead and call this out. So with the 119th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons have taken Mykal Walker, linebacker out of Fresno State. Pretty good pickup here. I give it a B+. It's a pretty solid pick. They're adding depth at linebacker. I like that. You can never have too many linebackers in this league. So yeah, I say B+, B-, somewhere with a B. Not quite an A pick because this isn't one of their top needs. But adding a little bit of depth at linebacker in case somebody gets hurt, it's a very smart pick. I totally understand the logic behind it. So I'll give this one a solid B. I think a B right down the middle, no plus, no minus, just a solid B is a fair analysis of this one. Smart to add a couple extra guys for depth at linebacker. And I like what I'm seeing with this one. So yeah, I give it a solid B. It's a great pick. The pick is in for the New York Jets. We will announce that in a second. I could see they might even take Fromm. You never know. The guy the Broncos got had a good combine. Yeah. I've heard that Cushenberry had a very good combine. I'm surprised he fell as low as he did, honestly. When we took Hamler in the second round, I was kind of worried that we weren't going to be focusing on O-line like we needed to. Luckily, that wasn't the case. We got our offensive lineman. We took Lloyd Cushenberry to either challenge or replace Dalton Reisner at center. And all in all, smart pick there. I'm very, very excited to see that we got him. One of the smartest centers in the game. The guy's an absolute genius when it comes to football. And I very much enjoy this. So I like the pick. Like I said, A+. Arguably Denver's best choice all throughout the draft in terms of value for where they got him. I really like the Cushenberry pick. Yo, Jeffrey, welcome to the stream. This is very exciting. Today's stream will be a little bit shorter than yesterday's. We're only going to cover the 4th round because I do have some prior commitments after that. What pick do the Patriots have? The Patriots have the... I don't think they picked this round, actually. I don't see them on here. They may have traded their 4th round pick away. I don't see Patriots on here unless they've already picked. And they have not already picked. Patriots do not have a 4th round pick, unfortunately. The pick is in for the Jets. I will be right back and we will discuss who they get. All right, and we are back. Sorry for that short delay there. But hey, we're back. Let's go ahead and call out who the Jets took. So, with the 120th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Jets have taken LaMichael Perrine, running back from Florida. Decent pick. Excuse me. I am so sorry, guys. My allergies are acting up a little bit today. But all in all, great pick here. I think they drafted a running back earlier, so they're adding some depth now. Bless you. Thank you. I'm very sorry. My allergies are acting up a little bit. And then the very next pick, with the 121st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions have drafted Logan Steinberg, guard from Kentucky. Good pick here. They're protecting their quarterback, protecting Matt Stafford, maybe adding a little bit of depth at that position. We did take Glasgow from them, so that's probably going to hurt their offensive line a little bit. Glasgow left the Lions and came home to the almighty Denver Broncos, so they had to replace that hole. Great job there, adding a little bit of depth to that line. The Colts are on the clock right now, so let's take a sip. For those of you that were in the stream yesterday, you remember how amazing this was. Kept my voice going for 4 hours. Like I said, Indianapolis Colts are on the clock. Excuse me. So we're gonna go ahead and discuss some of their needs. I could see Jake Fromm right here. I think that's a very possible option. Jacoby Brissett has not been playing nearly as well as I think they were expecting him to. Yes, sir, that Powerade. Yeah, you remember it, man. But I could definitely see a quarterback right here. Jake Fromm would fit their scheme really good. Maybe even Jacob Easton, take him off the board. Give a solid backup to Jacoby Brissett. And then if Brissett starts making more mistakes, kind of like he did last year, you can pull Brissett out, throw in the rookie, and see what happens. That's what I would do here. They could use O-line help. They have Quentin Nelson, but that's pretty much it. I personally would like to see them draft a quarterback. So wake up at 9:30, so we got Trent Williams for 2 picks, 5th round. That's a crazy W. Yeah, for sure. Who's faster, Deion Sanders or Darrell Green? I'm not sure. I know Deion was incredibly fast in his thing. Yikes, Jets drafting so many running backs doesn't make sense, in my opinion, because of Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, they do have Le'Veon Bell. Staley is retiring, too. Joe Staley is that confirmed or is that rumored? Colts already got Phillip Rivers. Oh, that's true. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, Colts do have Rivers, so they may not need a quarterback here then. But if Joe Staley's retiring, we should see a career tribute card because he's definitely one of the best in the league. Woo! I am sorry, guys. Greeny, your allergies are acting up too. Yeah. It's pretty rough right now. Lots of pollen in the air. It doesn't help. We've had storms. It's acting everything up. I'm gonna go take an allergy pill actually, just to kind of calm all this down a little bit. I'll be back in a second. I know this isn't nearly as professional. You could have got Staley a ring too for the Niners. Yeah, I really wish he could have got one. First ballot Hall of Fame in my opinion. The guy's a legend. If he does retire, bless you, Mr. Ranger. Thank you. I'm sorry for sneezing so much. Jerry, he's about to retire. Yeah, if he does, we will see a career tribute card, I'm sure. But I'll make sure to cover it on the channel. I love getting to honor those guys. I had a lot going on, so I couldn't do Eli's, but I did most of the others. Pick is in for the Colts. I'll be right back, and we'll announce it. Sorry to leave the stream so much. I should be back temporarily, momentarily. All right, I am back. I'm sorry for leaving. Um, just had to go ahead and take some allergy medicine, get that cleared up. Now let's get back into the stream. Hey Jeff, M4, welcome. We do have the Colts. The Colts. I called this one. Let's go. All right, with the 122nd overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts have taken quarterback from Washington, Jacob Easton. They now have another backup. Great pick right here. I love seeing this one. A-. This is a really solid pick. Easton to the Colts makes a lot of sense. Jack Fromm has not been taken. So I am a fan of this one. They need some depth at quarterback. They just picked up Phillip Rivers, if I remember right. And then Brissett's his backup. Now you've got a third one. So yeah, this is a great idea here. I give this one a solid A-, maybe a B+, somewhere in that range. All in all, a great idea here. Very smart pick. They're adding depth. If Brissett is not able to perform to the level that they want out of the backup, they can take Jacob Easton and have him step up. This is a very smart move on the Colts' part. And by taking him late in the 4th round, they're not risking a big first or second round pick. Let him fall a little bit to a quarterback, so they're take the best of what's available. I'm a big fan of this pick. It makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. So I'll give this one a solid A-. I think this is a very smart pick. I totally understand the logic here. We do have 14 in the chat, so for those of you that are new, welcome to the 2020 NFL Draft on YouTube, hosted by me, Jeff Fields McCormick. Glad you're here. Quick update right now. Jacob Easton was just drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. Brent, welcome to the stream. So all in all, like I said a second ago, I'm a huge fan of this pick. I think this is very smart. I totally get the logic here. They definitely need another backup there. Jacoby Brissett has not been performing the way that they want. Phillip Rivers probably only has 2, maybe 3 years, maybe a little bit more, don't misunderstand me. But I say about 5 years is probably his max left. And at that time, they're going to have a trained quarterback ready to step into that position. And they're going to be essentially competing between Jacob Easton and Jacoby Brissett for that starting position in a couple of years. And I think that Easton could very well end up winning over Jacoby Brissett if he can outperform him. And we've seen time and time again, Brissett's not quite able to get it done like they were hoping. All right, and with the 123rd overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys have selected a cornerback out of Tulsa, Reggie Robinson II, or Jr. Great pickup here. They lost Byron Jones. They need some depth at corner. Smart move here. I like what I'm seeing. I give it a solid B+. It's a pretty good pick. Maybe not the best of what's available, but a pretty good pick. Also, for those of you joining, yes, my allergies are messing with me. If I sneeze or something, I'm sorry. But we're going to get through this. We'll get through the 4th round. I'm excited for this one. Excuse me. Like that. Like I said. Allergies are just absolutely killing me right now. Rivers is 38, so yeah, maybe he has 2 or 3. Exactly. Yeah, I'm saying Rivers gets a couple of good years. Train somebody, Mr. Ranger. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry that I'm sneezing so much. My allergies are just going haywire today. But I will get through the 4th round. We will get a full round live. And then I've got some other stuff I got to take care of. Byron Jones is a beast. They have to cover for his loss. Yeah, losing Byron Jones was huge. No, it's good, Jeff. Allergies are terrible. Also, what's up? All right, hey. Thank you guys for understanding. I really hate sneezing so much, messing up the live stream. But, you know, it's just, it is what it is. You know, tackle in the corner. Pats could trade Edelman today. That would be interesting. They might trade him to move up in the draft and take Jake Fromm. I know that Belichick, whether he admits it or not, he needs a quarterback. He needs a new systems quarterback to fit the Patriots. And if he were to go ahead and take somebody like Fromm, he could build the next Brady. Did you guys see the Trent Williams trade? Yeah, that was insane. Joe Staley, we got to love that guy. Before he said he told us retiring in the draft, what a nice way. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Joe Staley right here. The guy's right up there with Joe Thomas. He's right up there with Russell Okung. This guy's one of the greatest offensive linemen of the modern era. I say he's first ballot Hall of Fame. I know some people debate that. I don't really think there's any question here. He's been just great for years and years. Got to be in the Hall of Fame. M4, I completely agree with you. Just a great, talented guy. The pick is in for the Steelers. We'll go over that in a second. But if there is a Joe Staley career tribute card, Joe Staley was through the ups and downs. Yeah, man. Seeing Joe Staley retire kind of hurts. I'm not going to lie. He was such a huge part of the 49ers. So, big facts, Jeff. Yeah. I'm going to make a promise to you guys right now. And I'll hold to this. I hope Staley gets 100 overall. If we get a career tribute card for Joe Staley, I will do a stat breakdown with him. I can't guarantee that I'll be able to add him to the team. Of course, no guarantee there. But I will do a stat breakdown of him. I will give my thoughts on him overall. A lot of O-linemen retiring. Yeah, we lost a lot of really good ones. Marshall Yanda retired. That one was surprising. Buying the career tribute card, I can't pass. Yeah, he was really good. Excuse me. Like I said, the pick is in for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll go over that in a second. But yeah, if he gets a career tribute card, which he really should, I think it would be kind of, you know, not fair if he doesn't get one because of how big of a part of that offense he was. So when his career tribute card comes out, just like we did with Marshall Yanda, we'll make sure and talk about that. I'd want it to most likely buy him with coins. Yeah, I may pick him up with coins just for sentimental value. All right, the pick is in for the Steelers. With the 124th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers have taken Anthony McFarland, running back out of Maryland. This is an interesting pick for a couple of reasons. They're adding depth at running back, which is pretty good. It's always important to make sure that you've got some options here, but I don't know on this one. I'm going to try pulling him, and if I can't pull him, depends on the scheme. Yeah. If I end up getting a smash mouth one, I may keep him on the team. Can't wait for the Chiefs bandwagons to hop on another team. Jacob Easton gone. Yes, Jacob Easton is gone. He was drafted a couple of picks ago by Washington, or he was from Washington. Excuse me, drafted by the Colts. But yeah, Anthony McFarland here adds some depth to the running back position for Pittsburgh. Maybe not the best guy on the board, but I understand the logic here. I give it a solid B-. It's a solid pick to add some depth later on in the draft. Of course, maybe not the best pick available, so I can't give it an A rating. But a solid B-, never hurts. I like the logic here. Add a little more depth, add some competition for your running back. See who's the best out of what's there. Jake Fromm, I think Jake Fromm goes to the Patriots. I think Belichick is going to take a risk on him. Maybe try and make him the next, maybe try and make him the next Brady or Bledsoe. Bill Belichick has a tendency to build amazing teams, especially quarterbacks. He can craft some amazing quarterbacks. I could see Jake Fromm being his next thing. I could also see next year maybe he tries to take Trevor. That would be great. Good way to bolster that offense. Maybe they pick up Jake Fromm here just to hold him over. It all depends on what Belichick sees. If Belichick sees something that he likes, he's going to go for it. He's going to jump on whatever's there. So we'll have to see what he decides. Also, we do have 10 people in the stream. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you like what you're seeing today, please give it a thumbs up to let me know. Tons of amazing chats in the channel. We just hit 10 likes. Thank you. Always great to see those likes go up a little bit. Thank you all so much. Up to 11 likes now and growing, so that's always cool to see. The pick is in for the Jets. We're going to go over that here in a second. All in all, great draft the Jets are having. Woo, just beat someone in the #1 league in overdrive. That's really cool. Great job, Greeny. The #1 leagues and the top leagues are always heavily competitive, so even coming close to one of those guys is impressive. But yes, like I said a second ago, if Joe Staley does get a career tribute card, which I'm almost certain that he will, then we will get a stat breakdown of him as soon as I can. I'm probably going to take 1 or 2 reactions from this live stream, edit and upload those throughout the day today. Get a little bit of extra content out there for you guys, and just have some fun with it. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing, is announce the picks and have fun doing it. I'm having a ton of fun chatting with you guys. Unfortunately, due to some prior commitments, I'm only going to be here for the 4th round. I got some other stuff going on today. But we're going to be here for the entire 4th round, maybe a little bit into the 5th. It depends on timing and stuff, but at least the entire 4th. Joe Staley, the last player from Jim Harbaugh days, yeah. He stuck around a lot longer than a lot of those guys. Sad to see him leave. If I remember right, that was even when Frank Gore was down with the 49ers, which was a long, long time ago. I watched your reaction to the 2nd round pick. Might have been the 3rd before joining the stream. That was our 3rd round pick, Lloyd Cushenberry. I'm glad you checked that out. I had a ton of fun with that one. Very smart pick right there. Glad to add him to the line. I feel bad for Julio being stuck on a lackluster team. I feel like his contract is years gone. I don't know. Julio's still doing a lot of really good stuff. Matt Ryan was the MVP a couple of years ago. So he's still got some amazing potential. Do you think there could be any more major trades? Honestly, I don't know. We haven't seen nearly as many trades as we usually do. So we should see 1 or 2 more pop up at some point. Kind of surprised we haven't seen more already, in all honesty. Because usually a lot of 1st round trades happen. There'll be more trades with the 49ers. Yeah, 49ers are going to be the wild card in terms of trading. They trade around a lot, especially these last couple. And it's going to be cool to see what they do. Maybe kind of get a feel for what they're going to do. But yeah, I definitely think that the 49ers could trade again. Maybe 2 or 3 times even. Who knows? I think the pick is in by now. Pick is in for the Jets. We're just waiting on confirmation. Do you think Julio will ever get a chance at another Super Bowl? I don't know. I wish I could say yes, but I don't think so. The Falcons are still really good, but with how good the Saints are, I think the Saints are going to win that division. You've also got... We have a trade, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I will be right back, and then we'll talk about whatever that trade was. Darian, if you want to go ahead and drop the information for that trade, I will gladly give my thoughts on it. Rams trade with the Texans. Interesting. So the Texans have moved up. They may be moving up to get a backup for Deshaun Watson. We'll have to see what happens, but they desperately wanted somebody. They jumped way up in that 4th round of the draft. We'll have to see who they take. If I had to guess here, it's either going to be offensive line. They might do defensive line again, as much as I disagree with that. But I would say offensive line, or they take Jake Fromm right here to give Watson a solid backup. That would be my 2 picks. Of course, I'm not, 100% positive what they're going to do. They've made some interesting choices so far. We'll have to see. Just checking on the pick. See if the pick was in yet. But yeah, I do like Jacob Easton going to Indianapolis. I think that's a very smart move. I totally see the logic behind it. I think that's genius to get another quarterback there. They took an O-tackle. Okay. They may be taking that for when Laramie Tunsil retires. As soon as I get confirmation... Oh, you mean the Jets took an O-tackle. Okay, yes, sir, that's a smart choice for Houston. Yes, completely agree. They need a backup for Watson. I think Watson's their answer, but if he gets hurt, they need somebody good to step in. A lot of teams are just relying really hard on that one quarterback, and then if he gets hurt, their season falls apart. I don't think the Texans can take that big of a risk. But I've got a feeling that they're going to have their pick in very quickly because of how rapidly they moved up. I mean, they moved up 10 positions. They moved up 10 positions. So they obviously have someone in mind. We're going to get to see who that is in a minute. But all in all, I like that. I think it's a smart move, like I said. Texans took an O tackle. How are you guys seeing this so fast? Okay, so I don't really understand this pick. With the 125th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, I see Charlie Heck now. We'll get to him in a second. Okay. With the 125th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Jets have taken the quarterback out of Florida International, James Morgan. Okay, you guys are a little bit ahead of me. You're watching it on ESPN. That explains it. I give this one a C. I mean, it's not a really smart pick here when Jake Fromm is on the board, but if the officiators saw something in there that they liked, head coach maybe prefers Morgan, then I totally understand going for who you prefer. Now, with the 126th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans have taken Charlie Heck, the tackle out of North Carolina. Jeff, the stream's laggy. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was having some issues last night. Probably having some more today. My bad, guys. And yes, they did take him over Jake Fromm. I was kind of surprised about that. Maybe they saw something that we didn't. I feel like Moss is going to go to the Panthers. That would be a good replacement for Greg Olsen. I could see that. The pick is in for the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll get to see who they take in a second. If the stream is lagging out for you guys, I apologize. I was having some technical issues last night, so it probably glitched out a little bit here and there. We also have clouds going over pretty hard today, which probably is making my connection even worse. Sorry about that. I'm hoping that it clears up for you guys. But if it doesn't, then like I said, I apologize for the issues there. But we're going to get through this, and we got about 20 more picks to go on this live stream. I like Charlie Heck, though. I think that's a smart pick. They're trying to build up that offensive line. Jeff, do the Dolphins have a pick? The Dolphins, let's scroll on through. No, the Dolphins do not have another pick this round. Let's see if they took one earlier. They did take Solomon Kindley with the 5th pick of the 4th round, the guard out of Georgia. So they're trying to protect their quarterback. Their smart move, they're trying to protect Tua, keep him from getting hurt. And the pick is in for the Eagles with the 21st overall pick, so we'll get to that as soon as it's announced. We did just break the 40-minute mark, so for those of you that have been here for the full thing, thank you to the Seahawks. Let's scroll on down. Seahawks have the 27th pick and the 38th, so they actually have 2 more picks coming up. Dolphins should get Moss. I think that'd be a good pick for Tua. Yeah, get a young quarterback, young tight end. That's a smart option. That's what we did when we got Drew Lock and Noah Fant. We saw how well that worked out, having 2 new guys right there. I like that. I like that pick. I like that idea. All in all, that would be really smart. I don't think that they're going to do that. If I had to guess, but I could see the logic. Eagles going to take a bag of chips. Excuse me. All right, with the 127th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles have selected Kayvon Wallace, safety out of Clemson. So now they're starting to add depth at that safety position. I don't really know how I feel about this one. It's always good to have a backup safety, maybe have somebody else that can blitz down if you're having trouble. I see the logic behind this one. But I think there's a couple of other things that they could have gotten here that might have helped him out a little bit more. I give it a solid B. He's a great player. It's a pretty good pick. Yeah, Jeffrey, you're saying a B as well. Okay. Like I said, it's a solid pick. Mahomes, you're saying B. A lot of people are saying B. Omaha, Peyton's signature line. They let Malcolm Jenkins walk. Oh, I did not realize that. In that case, then yeah, I'd say a B+ on this one. If they let Jenkins walk, which is a huge mistake to ever let that kind of talent leave, then I'd give this one a B, maybe a B+, because they're hurting at safety. So adding a little bit of depth there, maybe bring somebody else up. And then, you got this guy out of Clemson coming in, see how good he is, test him out in the preseason. I see the logic here. They are hurting for safety if they did lose Jenkins. So, yeah, I give this one a B, maybe a B+. Pretty good all around. Not the best pick, not the worst pick. I like Kayvon Wallace. He's a very strong guy. Very powerful defender out of Clemson. So, yeah, a B, maybe a B+. Beast Gaming, welcome back. The Philadelphia Eagles just took Kayvon Wallace, safety out of Clemson. Pretty happy about who the Giants have gotten. Minus the fact that they passed on Isaiah Simmons. I would say the Giants have had a really good draft. Passing on Simmons, I think, was a mistake. And then the Panthers passed on him, which was a huge mistake because they're missing Luke Kuechly now. Moss will go 5th round. It kind of looks that way, yeah. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Chenault is still on the board, too, as crazy as that sounds. I don't think Chenault's been taken today, so he's still on the board. Worst pick from round 3. Ooh, okay, worst pick from round 3. Well, let's go refresh over round 3, actually. Let's go with the rounds. I'm in the app, so it's a little odd right now. Worst pick of round 3, in my opinion... I think that the back-to-back wide receivers taken by the Raiders was not a good idea. I get that they're trying to beef up their passing game, improve their overall performance, but I just don't think back-to-back receivers is the way to go there. The best pick yesterday was Cushenberry. I agree. That was great. We messed up when we didn't take Cleveland, then we turned around and got Cushenberry. Very, very smart pick by Dallas right there. Denver, I mean. Whoa, by Denver. All right, and the pick for the Buffalo Bills is in. With the 128th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Gabriel Davis, wide receiver out of UCF. Pretty decent here. Maybe not a huge fan in all honesty. We could have had Cushenberry and Cleveland. Yeah, we could have. I don't really know why we didn't snatch up Cleveland when we had the chance. He's a great player. He's probably first round potential, early second round. I think the guys in the front office kind of dropped the ball on that one. But Gabriel Davis, wide receiver, goes to the Bills. They're adding a little bit of depth at wide receiver. I get this one. I give it a B-. Okay, Jeffrey, I see your B-. You agree? LSU linemen are really good. They really are. LSU had some amazing offensive linemen. It's part of why Joe Burrow was so good this year. He had a lot of time to let those deep passes develop. Very, very important when you've got a deep arm quarterback and the ability to have receivers that can do it. Fromm in the 5th would be a steal. Fromm could fall to the 5th round. That would be amazing, but it's definitely possible. The Patriots don't have another pick this round, so Belichick may try to get Jake Fromm in the 5th round. We'll have to see. I'll be back in a second. I'm checking on something. All right. Jeff, you're only streaming the 4th round. That's correct. I do have some prior commitments that I have to stick to. So the 4th round will probably be all I can stream. If I do any more, I'll start up a new stream. But more than likely, this will just be a 4th round stream. Lots of great picks so far in the 4th round. All right, understandable. Jerry, thank you. I am really enjoying this stream. I'm really enjoying it. Some of these picks are really interesting. Some of them are a little confusing here. Jake Morgan over Jake Fromm. Yeah, not a fan of that one. Jake Fromm is an amazing player. And I think that taking Morgan over him is kind of a mistake. I don't know. They saw something they liked there, so they took a chance on it. I think that might have been the wrong decision, but it is what it is. Just pumped we ended up with CD and Diggs when neither should have fell to us. That's very true. Dallas is like low-key had a really good draft. I'm very excited to see what all Dallas can do. They've had one of the best drafts I think that I've seen in a long time. So yeah, Jerry Jones, everybody up there, they're doing a great job on these draft picks. Arguably one of the best Dallas has had in the last few years. But yeah, I like that. I like how they're doing. They're doing really good. They're making smart moves here. What do I think about the Vikings' loss of Stephon Diggs? I think that that's going to hurt them. That's going to hurt them a lot. He was a great receiver, and the fact that he went to another team is going to hurt them. There's no question about that. Even though Dallas got a good draft, they're still not winning the NFC. I don't know. I think Dallas has a legitimate shot at the Super Bowl. They've got an amazingly stacked offense. They've got one of the best defenses in the league. Jake Morgan has a cannon for an arm. Well, that might be why they took him then. I mean, they do have Justin Jefferson who can develop into a great player for the Vikings. That's true. They do have some new talent there with Justin Jefferson. Maybe they can make him similar to a Terrell Owens style character. I could see that being possible. It all depends on what happens. We do have an update on who the Jets took. So with the 129th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the New York Jets have taken Cameron Clark, guard out of Charlotte. I give it a B+. It's pretty good. Jeff is so goat streaming so early. Thanks, man. But yeah, great pickup here. I like what I'm seeing. This is a smart move. Got to protect the quarterback. I said that again and again. You've got to protect the quarterback. Woo! Allergies suck today. Give it a B+. Jeffrey, I see your A-. Solid grade there, guys. I'm sorry that I'm sneezing. In my opinion, I don't think Dak is it for the Cowboys. I don't know. I know that he's had some issues in the media recently regarding partying despite all the warnings and stuff. I know TMZ called him out on it. It's this whole big fiasco. I don't know. I think Elliott's the long-term running back. I don't know if Dak's the long-term quarterback for Dallas. I could see Dak maybe moving on in a season or two. It just all depends on what everybody's expecting here. Dak's really good. Don't misunderstand me, but I've heard a lot of rumors from a lot of my friends and stuff that they may be talking about him, going somewhere else. I don't know. All right. The pick for the Broncos also got a good draft. Broncos are going to be the 49ers. 2019 will be a surprise. Dak turned down so much. Yeah, it's interesting. All right, the pick is in. I'm reading it off right now. All right, so with the 130th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings have selected James Lynch, defensive end out of Baylor. I don't know on this one. Maybe a solid B. This season will tell it all for Dallas. You can't blame a bad season or a new coach. Yeah. This season's going to be big for Dallas. Get to see what they do. I like the James Lynch pick. I give it a B, a solid B here. Never hurts to have more defensive ends. They've got Griffin right now. So you've got a seasoned veteran, one of the best in the league. And now James Lynch is going to get to learn next to him. I think this is a smart pick. Maybe you have your long-term answer when Griffin retires. Get to shift him over to the other side of the ball. We'll have to see what happens there, but I think that's a smart pick. We need to trade and get a corner. Our secondary is good, but it won't hold up. That's true. Secondary's kind of risky. The Texans never drafted a wide receiver. I don't think they did, no. Which is it's not smart because they lost Hopkins. They have to replace Hopkins. I don't think they've taken a receiver yet, no. They may be eyeing some receivers in free agency, but no, they didn't. Tyrese, welcome. For those of you that are new, please go ahead and give the stream a thumbs up if you're enjoying what you're seeing today. I know it's not quite as professional because my voice is gone and my allergies are acting up, but We're going to keep going. We're going to enjoy this. We're only 3 likes away from 20. Is it just me or does everyone else find themselves confused every time the Raiders pick? Yeah, back-to-back receivers in their picks was interesting. They've taken 3 receivers already. They have Randall Cobb and Brandon Cooks on the Texans, but they should draft receivers just in case. Yeah, I agree. They've got to start taking receivers here. I think most of the good receivers are gone. You might have a couple that have snuck up on them. You never know. But I don't know. I think that taking receiver here is important for them. Confused why the 49ers didn't get a wide receiver. Yeah, 49ers could use one. They lost Emmanuel Sanders. They could definitely use a wide receiver here. I'm not entirely sure why they didn't take one, in all honesty. Maybe take somebody in the 5th rounds, just see who falls. Risk a 5th or 6th round pick just to see what happens. We got Caillou Ken. Those. Why? They did at the end of the first. Did they? Did they take a wide receiver at the end of the first round? Let me go back and check. They may have. I don't see at the end of the first. Yeah, they took Brandon Ayuk. That's right, they got Ayuk. You guys got me confused. They took Ayuk out of Arizona State. Alright, my bad, guys. I forgot about Ayuk. Alright, let's scroll on down a little bit. And then we'll get to see who all gets taken on these next couple of picks. Alright. I'm a huge fan of this pick. This is one of my favorite defensive players in the draft. I think this guy was a total sleeper pick. I'm surprised he fell as far as he did. I would have taken him 3rd round. I really like this one, so let's go ahead and officially announce it. Whoa, their pick just changed. Hold on, their pick just changed. The Cardinals took Troy Dye, and then they took Rashard Lawrence. Did anybody else see that? On the app, the pick changed. They may have selected the wrong guy, I guess. That's interesting. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I'm assuming whoever runs the app just clicked on the wrong guy. So with the 131st overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals have taken Rashard Lawrence, D tackle out of LSU. It switched. They had Troy Dye. I guess at the last second they realized that they needed D tackle a little bit more. I'm not as big of a fan of this pick. I give it a B-. They already drafted someone on D-line, and they already have a pretty good D-line with Chandler Jones. This is just a depth pick here. So B-. He's a really good player. We have 2 Deebo Samuels now. Brandon Ayuk is super similar. It's like he's a clone. Hopefully he's not a bust. Yeah, I think Ayuk's going to do really well. It might take a year or 2 for him to develop, but he's going to be pretty good. Went from A- to B- in a second. Yeah. I love Troy Dye. And then saying Rashard Lawrence, I'm not as big of a fan of that. Because they need linebacker help. They had Troy Dye selected, and then they decided to get Rashard Lawrence. So, not a big fan of that one. B- right there. That's a depth pick. Troy Dye is still on the board. I'm really hoping to see Troy Dye get taken by somebody else. Maybe the Vikings take him. Plenty of guys here could take him. When is Troy Dye going to go? I could see the Seahawks taking him. The Seahawks are very defense-heavy this draft. And drafting a linebacker to just strengthen their... There he is! There he is! All right, Troy Dye has been taken. So with the 132nd overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings have selected Troy Dye, linebacker out of Oregon. A- here. I really like this pick. Troy Dye is incredibly talented. I projected him going late 2nd, early 3rd round. So I think picking him up here, I may even call this one an A+. I really like this pick. Bravo to these guys. This is an amazing pick. Troy Dye is one of the best linebackers in this draft. Obviously, Queen is way higher ranked than him, but I really like Troy Dye here. He will be working with Anthony Barr, so you got to think that's a pretty stacked linebacker core right there. You got Anthony Barr on one side. The other side now is going to have Troy Dye. You got a D-line that they took earlier. They're just beefing up this defense. I really like the pick here. A+, this may be the best pick in the 4th round. All in all, like I said, I really like this pick. I think the guys in the front office here just took a huge win on this one. I absolutely love this pick. A+ here. Troy Dye is a beastly linebacker. Very well may be the best linebacker in this round, maybe even in this draft, other, of course, than Patrick Queen, Isaiah Simmons. Those guys are incredibly good. You take those two out of the equation, I think Troy Dye is probably the next best linebacker here. Great pick by the Vikings. I love seeing him paired with Anthony Barr. All in all, A+ here. I love this pick. Very smart. Just a genius move here by the Vikings, taking a beastly defender. And I think that the Vikings are going to look even better on defense with Troy Dye. He'll get to learn alongside the veteran Anthony Barr and then step in and maybe even be a leader on that defense in a couple of years. So A+ for Troy Dye going to the Minnesota Vikings. The pick is in for the Seahawks. We'll see who they grab in a second. All right, the pick is in for the Seattle Seahawks. I like this pick. This makes a lot of sense. So, with the 133rd overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks have selected Colby Parkinson, tight end out of Stanford. I give this one a B+. This is smart. They needed to replace their tight end. They lost Greg Olsen, if I remember right. They needed to fill that position. They got a great tight end right there. I like this pick. Smart pick overall. So, yeah, give it a solid B+. He's a good tight end. I like what I see there. Makes a lot of sense to get a new tight end right there. Jeffrey gives it a B. I say B+. We're all in the B to B+ range. Colby Parkinson, yeah, he's a great tight end. They just got Greg Olsen. Oh, Olsen went there. I am so sorry. I got my teams backwards. So he'll be the backup to Greg Olsen. Woo, voice is starting to go. He'll be the backup to Greg Olsen. My bad, guys. All right, Jerry, thank you for joining the stream. This one was a ton of fun. I hope to see you in the next stream. Let's go on down. The Atlanta Falcons have selected their next pick. So with the 134th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons have taken Jalen Hawkins, the safety out of California. A-. I really like this pick. They've got Keanu Neal at safety. They've got Trufant at corner. They're struggling a lot on defense, though, in the secondary. They're getting burned a lot. Drew Brees has an amazing arm. He's burned them time and time again. I really like this pick. I think this is smart. They're adding a lot of great playmakers on defense. I think adding somebody like Hawkins to the secondary was great. If Trufant was traded, then that explains even more why they took this pick. I've not heard that yet, but he may have been traded. If that's the case, then yeah, this is a great pick. They should have took Bryce Hall. Trufant did leave. Okay, Trufant did leave. In that case, then yes, Jalen Hawkins, I give an A+. He may even move to corner to replace Trufant. We'll have to see. Trufant's in Detroit. Okay, I hadn't heard that, but that's always good to know the latest with those guys. All right, the 135th pick is in for the Steelers. But yeah, we'll go ahead and address that in just a second. The Raiders are definitely the wild card in this draft, and they're coming up in 3 or 4 picks, so we'll get to see what they decide to do in a little while. They've made some interesting moves. The first 3 picks were 3 wide receivers. I don't really see why exactly, but it does make sense to have that kind of, I guess, a little bit of backup there, a little bit of depth at wide receiver. But I don't know if I would have taken them that early. Also, we're 1 like away from 20. So if you haven't liked the stream, please go ahead and do so. Let's hit 20 likes real quick. There we go. 20 likes. Whoever did that, thank you. The Steelers pick is in. We'll address that as soon as it's announced. Obliterate. Thank you for the 20th like. Chenault and Moss are not being looked at all. That's true. I'm really surprised that Chenault and Moss have not been drafted yet. That's a bit of a surprise there. Rams are on the clock. The pick is in for the Steelers. I'm excited to see who gets added to Big Ben's team. We did also just break the 1 hour mark. So thank you all so much for everybody sticking around for the last hour. We probably got at least another 15, 20 minutes, probably more. And we'll get to see who all goes to some of these later draft pick teams. Plenty of great options still on the board. We've got Chenault still on the board. Moss is still on the board. Those guys may even fall to the 5th round. We'll have to see. Jake Fromm somehow is still on the board. I'm expecting him to go to the Patriots as a replacement for Tom Brady. We'll have to see what happens, though. We know that Belichick loves late-round quarterbacks. Look what happened with Tom Brady. I think Drew Bledsoe was 2nd or 3rd round, if I'm not mistaken. Jags got Chenault. Eagles have 39 and 40 in round 4. Yes, that's correct. Eagles have the last 2 picks in the draft. Jake Fromm to the Pats. That's what I'm thinking, yes. They need to replace Brady. They've got to get somebody in that quarterback position. Take a risk here. If he drops to the early 5th round, take a risk. Grab him when you can. Try and build a new Brady. If nothing else, it's damage control for a year. I like Jake Fromm to the Pats. Thank you. We all know Eagles make bad decisions. Yeah. They haven't made the best decisions so far. They see something. I don't really see it. Jags got Chenault. Did Chenault get picked by the Jags? Oh, excuse me. I don't think so. Did they? I don't see that, no. Thought Love was going to Pats, but the Packers took him. Yeah, Packers took him. That was kind of surprising. I don't see Chenault off the board yet, guys. I think we still have Chenault. Yeah, Chenault's still on the board. Yeah, Chenault's still there, guys. The pick is in for the Steelers. 3rd round Jags. Did he? They may not have that on here then. Hold on, let me check. Oh, they sure did. They sure did. The Jaguars picked Chenault in the draft last night. Okay. My mistake then. I didn't see that. The Patriots need a QB this draft. They need to fill the QB hole. That's true. Okay. The Steelers pick is in. I like this pick. I really like this pick. I give it an A-. I get the logic here. So with the 135th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Kevin Dotson, guard out of Louisiana, Lafayette. I like this. A-. This is a smart pick. They have to keep Big Ben safe. They have to keep Kyle Rudolph safe. Or Mason Rudolph, Mason Rudolph, they got to keep him safe. A-. This is a solid pick. They're beefing up that line. I love seeing O-linemen get drafted. They're incredibly important. They're the unsung heroes of the NFL. This is a great pick. 10 of 10. Love this pick right here. Give it a solid A-. Rams got Bryce Hopkins tight end. I haven't seen confirmation of that, but that would make sense. Jaguars are on the clock. That is correct. We'll get to see who the Jaguars take. Maybe the Jaguars take Jake Fromm as a backup for Minshew. I don't really see that. I think Nick Foles is down there too, so I don't really think a quarterback's in the cards for them, but you never know. They might be trying to add depth. Okay, Bryson Hopkins is confirmed. With a 136th overall pick, the Los Angeles Rams, with the 136th overall pick, the Los Angeles Rams have selected Bryson Hopkins, tight end out of Purdue. I really like this one. Okay, Nick Foles is on the Bears. My bad there. Then, yeah, they may take him as backup later on. I like this pick. They need some depth at tight end. Hopkins out of Purdue. He's a solid tight end. A pretty good all-around player. Jaguars are on the clock. That's correct. We'll get to their pick as soon as it's announced. But I do like Bryson Hopkins. I think this is a smart move, adding some depth at tight end. They got a great playmaker out of Purdue. I give this one an A-, maybe a B+. Jeffrey, I see your A-. I agree with that. A- here is a pretty fair analysis. Taking a really talented tight end late in the 4th round, I think, is a very smart move. I like what I'm seeing here. I'm kind of surprised Moss is still on the board, but I definitely would have taken Hopkins right there. He's an amazing player, and Purdue had a great guy. Wow, Chenault got picked before Denzel Mims. Yeah, I really didn't realize Chenault had been drafted. I'm very surprised with that, too. Mims fell really hard in this draft. Pick is in for the Jaguars. We'll get to see who they take. Kind of excited for this one. They're building an offense around Minshew, so we might see some depth at running back. We might see... I could see them taking a backup for Fournette right here. That's possible. Fournette is a great running back, just hasn't had the stats that they want to see. And as a result, I could definitely see them maybe trying to pick up another running back here. Jaguars pick is in. That's correct. I'm waiting for it to update. I would say running back or offensive line right here. A backup for Fournette makes a lot of sense. Because he was the 4th overall pick, hasn't done a whole lot in my opinion. Definitely not as much as a lot of other running backs like Ezekiel Elliott. That was one of the best running backs in the last 3 or 4 years. I don't think Fournette's put up the numbers that the Jaguars were expecting. And I think that they're going to want to go ahead and maybe get a backup here just in case Fournette ends up not being their franchise running back. I could also see offensive line right here. A corner's possible. They did just lose Jalen Ramsey. They also lost A.J. Bouye. The Denver Broncos took Bouye. A corner would be a really smart pick right here, cornerback. They've got to fix the 2 corner holes they have in their defense right now. We can possibly trade with the Eagles for a 5th rounder, maybe. That's possible. That's possible. We'll have to see. Lots of trades happening late. I think Moss has fallen because he only has 12 games under his belt. More of a developmental player. That's true. He hasn't had a whole lot of games. The pick is in for the Jaguars. Chiefs are on the clock. That's correct. I'm going to guess a corner here. I think cornerback makes a lot of sense. Like I said a second ago, they lost A.J. Bouye to the Denver Broncos. They lost Jalen Ramsey recently as well. They're struggling on defense. The secondary is having some trouble. I could really see that. Maybe they take Scott here. I'm trying to think of some other good corners. There's a lot of really good corners out there. Plenty of great options and all that. Oh, here we go. All right, I was right. They took Scott. Check that out. All right. So with the 137th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars have taken Josiah Scott, cornerback out of Michigan State. A+ right here. Great pickup right here. I love this pick for Jacksonville. They lost both of their superstar cornerbacks. They desperately needed a new cornerback right here. Picking up Scott is a great way to fill that position. Maybe they'll pick up another guy or two in the offseason. Just kind of fill up some holes. Maybe pick up somebody that's been cut by another team. Put a veteran out there and then let Scott learn under a veteran. A+ right here. Genius pick. This is going to drastically improve their defense in the secondary. I love this pick, whether he's a starter or he's a practice squad player that learns under a starter. Either way, very smart pick here. You lose 2 cornerbacks within pretty close proximity. You have to replace that. I think this is a smart move by the Jaguars. A+. I love this pick. Like the NFL draft during Madden 20 because you can add college stars to your team. That's true. That's really cool. Oh, Moss has a broken foot. Okay, that might be part of the issue of why he's falling so low. Then they don't want to get somebody that's injured. I could see that being a problem. I definitely see the logic there. We actually have 12 people watching right now, so thank you all for stopping by. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and leave a thumbs up on this video to let me know if you're enjoying it. I certainly hope you're enjoying today's video. I'm having a ton of fun announcing all these first-round picks to you guys. Really, really enjoying this overall. The pick is in for the Chiefs. It has not been confirmed on the app just yet. Greeny, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying this. The pick is not officially in just yet. Oh, he injured his foot at the combine? Oh. I didn't know that at all. Wow. Okay, I love this draft. Obliterate, thank you. I'm having a ton of fun streaming this with you guys. Absolutely loving this. Chiefs are about to pick. Correct. I'm looking at the screen now, just waiting on confirmation of who they take. I could see them taking maybe a receiver to add some depth. I could see them taking somebody maybe on a defensive secondary. I was happy with Cushenberry. I was too. I love the Cushenberry pick. The Raiders are on the clock right now, so we'll get to see who they take in a second. All in all, though, this has been a really fun draft. Great live stream. We're approaching 75 minutes, believe it or not. He was doing a warm-up for his 40 and broke his foot. Oh, man. One of the best drafts of the century. Yeah, this has been a really good draft. They've made a lot of smart picks here. I'm a big fan of what all they've done. Chiefs select as safety. All right. That'll help out Tyrann Mathieu a little bit. Yes, they did. With the 138th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Ladarius Snead, safety from Louisiana Tech. I give this one a B+. It's pretty solid. This will help out Tyrann Mathieu in the secondary. This will help out Fuller in the secondary, add another great playmaker. B+. This is a pretty solid pick. Pretty good option here. I like helping this out. The Raiders are on the clock. We'll get to their pick as soon as it's revealed. But yes, I do like Snead. So he's saying A-. I say B+. We're all in the same general range here. I do like this pick. Smart idea to beef up that secondary. The Raiders pick is in. I will announce that as soon as it is confirmed on the app. Philip is saying the Raiders are going to take another wide receiver. I really hope not. They've already taken a lot of wide receivers. They're offense heavy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that many wide receivers, I think, is a bit risky. They need to try and spread it out a little bit more. I'm expecting someone on D-line right here. Maybe someone in the secondary would make sense, too. About time the Chiefs work on that defense. Yeah, Ranger Powerade, that's correct. I do have the Powerade back out. I got to keep the throat wet so I can keep talking. The Ravens have a deadly D-line with Patrick Queen. Yes, I loved the Queen pick. Huge fan of that. You guys saying that the Ravens took a corner? I'm waiting for the official confirmation on the app. But as long as it's not another wide receiver, then I think that's better than how they've been doing. Jaguars are on the clock. Pick is in for the Raiders. What do you think about the Bears adding their 10th tight end? Is that seriously their 10th tight end, or is that like joking 10th? Because if that's really their 10th tight end, then I'm not a big fan of that. Hope we can trade Goodwin or Pettis for the Eagles picks. Okay, Amik Robertson fell a lot further than I was expecting. The Raiders did go ahead and pick him up with the 139th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. The Las Vegas Raiders have selected Amik Robertson, cornerback out of Louisiana Tech. That is back-to-back players from Louisiana Tech. Pretty cool to see that. I give it a B-. Never hurts to beef up your secondary. Really, their 10th tight end on their roster, no joke. Wow, I thought you were joking. That's insane. They actually have 10 tight ends on their roster. In that case, then yeah, that was not a smart pick for the Bears there. They need to start cutting some tight ends. Maybe move a faster one to wide receiver or something. But 10 tight ends is insane. Not smart at all. They're going to have to cut some guys for sure. But yeah, Amik Robertson right there, B-. They beefed up their secondary. I'm always a fan of beefing up your team later on in the draft. Address your main needs early. Would you take a tight end then? The Jags pick is in. That's correct. You guys are a little bit ahead of me. You're watching it on ESPN. I am seeing the NFL app announce it. So you guys are about a minute or so ahead of me. Jaguars here. I could see offensive line. I could see a backup running back for Fournette. Once you have something double digits, then you need to do some trades. That's true. They've got to start trading away those tight ends. They've got to start cutting some guys. 10 tight ends on one team is insane. 3 or 4, I think, is the max, just that you have some guys to sub in. But yeah, 10 is insane. Jags took a linebacker. Somebody saying Jags took from. We'll have to see. The Broncos' last pick was perfect. Broncos had a pretty good last pick, yeah. I'm a fan of how Denver's doing for the most part here. I like the tight end. He does match up with Drew Lock. They're both from the same college. Houston is on the clock. I will reveal the Jaguars pick as soon as it's announced. But yeah, great jobs right here by everybody. Pretty good picks. Okay, somebody said that they took Quarterman. That is correct. With the 140th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars have selected Shaquille Quarterman, linebacker out of Miami. Pretty good. I like this pick. They don't have a whole lot for linebacker, so I give it a B, maybe a B+. I see somebody in the chat agrees with a B grade on this one. He's a pretty good linebacker, and it never hurts to add another linebacker to your team, add some depth to a very important position. This is going to help out their defense dramatically. He may not be a starting linebacker, but at the very least, he will at least be able to add some depth right there. Somebody's saying the worst pick in the draft. Is that a question, or are you saying this is the worst pick? Houston's on the clock. Someone says Houston's pick is in. You guys are a little bit ahead of me. Yeah, a lot of interesting picks for sure. The Eagles have made a couple of questionable decisions here. Last pick in the 4th round. Eagles have the last 2 picks. What pick is the worst pick? Okay, you got to polish the tank. All right. What pick is the worst pick, like, altogether? Is that what you're asking? Because that's going to have to be somebody in the 1st round, because those are the most important. 1st round, I think the worst pick, and I'm probably going to get some hate for this one. I didn't like Derek Brown, excuse me. I didn't like Derek Brown going to the Panthers. I think that was a bit of a mistake because they lost Luke Kuechly. They had Isaiah Simmons. They could have put him at middle linebacker. They didn't do that, and I think that was a big mistake on their part. Going on down here, the pick is in for Houston. Arnett to the Raiders. Yeah, that was an interesting one, too. I didn't have Arnett going 1st round at all. Packers were terrible getting a QB set of wide receiver. I kind of agree with what the Packers did there. The Seahawks' next pick is in 4 picks. 4 picks from now. But I get the logic with Jordan Love. They need somebody to replace Aaron Rodgers when he retires. So I understand what they're doing. Okay. The pick is in for Houston with the 134... Excuse me. With the 141st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans have selected John Reed, a cornerback out of Penn State. I like this pick, B+. They needed a new, some new talent in that secondary. They added John Reed here out of Penn State. I think this is a smart move. Maybe not a guy that got scouted quite as much as some of these other defenders. So I like this pick. B+. Pretty solid pick here. Add some depth to their secondary, some depth to their corner position. I do like this pick. I think this one's smart. They're considering their main needs and getting the best guy on the board. All defensive help for Houston. Great pick. Yeah, I agree. Defenses win championships. We've heard that time and time again. They've already got an okay offense. They lost DeAndre Hopkins. Big mistake there. But other than that, they got a pretty good offense. And now beefing up that defense might make them legitimate contenders in a couple of years once these guys have matured a little bit more, got a little bit more experience. We could definitely see them making a playoff run. The Redskins got a wide receiver. I haven't received confirmation of that yet, but that would be good. Skins have trash wide receivers. I don't know about this one. Jalen Hurts to Eagles. I like that one. It's a pretty good backup for Wentz. Maybe he takes over. I know that Wentz hasn't had some of the best picks, or he's had a lot of picks. Hasn't had some of the best plays. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Wentz has had some trouble recently. Ravens are on the clock. Okay, here we go. They took a wide receiver here. Thank you, Mr. Obliterate. Sorry I'm sneezing so much. For those of you that just joined, my allergies are acting up, so I'm a little stuffy. I'm sneezing a lot, but we're still going to get through these last few picks. So, with the 142nd overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Antonio Gandy Golden, wide receiver out of Liberty. In all honesty, I don't know a whole lot about this guy. I know they need a lot of help at wide receiver. I know they've drafted one earlier. Maybe this guy's a diamond in the rough. I haven't heard much about him, so I can't give this one a high grade. I say a B, just a solid B. They need help at wide receiver. They got a wide receiver. His stats look pretty good. I don't know a whole lot about him. So yeah, I give this one a solid B. They need help, and they're getting that help that they need. So good pick here. I don't know a whole lot about the player specifically, but I know they need help at the wide receiver position, so I can give it a solid B. All in all, like I said, I like this pick. I like the logic behind it. I think a B is a fair grade on this because I honestly don't know much about him, so I can't really give a grade on the player per se. All right, Obliterate will be back in a second. See you soon. For those of you that just joined the chat, welcome. We got a couple of new guys joined a second ago, so welcome to the 4th round of the 2020 NFL Draft on YouTube. This is a ton of fun getting to discuss all of this with you guys. The Baltimore Ravens are on the clock right now. We'll get to see who they draft in a second. I'm going to go ahead and take a drink. We have 4 picks left in this round, so we're getting pretty close to the end of the 4th round of the 2020 NFL Draft. This one's a lot of fun. We're seeing a lot of great talent going. Like I said, Ravens are on the clock. So, very excited to see who they draft. They could take another linebacker at a little more depth. I could see them taking maybe Thaddeus Moss here at tight end to have a good backup for Andrews. Hoping Weaver drops Dallas in the 5th, just in case Aldon Smith isn't reinstated. That's a good point. Weaver would be a great addition for Dallas. I don't know much about the Aldon Smith situation. But yeah, anytime you can take a chance at that. All right, so you're back. Welcome back, Mr. Ranger. But yeah, I could see Weaver going to Dallas to add a little bit of depth. Maybe to help out if Smith isn't reinstated. Like I said, I don't know a ton about that situation, so I haven't been able to look into that too much. But I definitely understand the logic there. You've got to try and replace your main, one of your main guys if they don't get reinstated for whatever reason. You've got to be able to safely address that. And, all right, got to go. Good stream. Jeffrey, thank you so much. The Ravens are on the clock. The Ravens pick is in now. As soon as it's confirmed, we will go ahead and announce it. Very excited to see who they take right here. A couple of new people just joined the stream. For those of you that just joined, welcome. Go ahead and give the stream a thumbs up if you haven't already. We're at 22 likes. It's always great getting to see those likes roll in with you guys. Getting to, talk to the community. Just all around a ton of fun. Like I said a second ago, Ravens pick is in. We're just waiting on that right now. Should be coming in any time now. We're just kind of waiting for it to get confirmed by the app. A couple of the guys in the chat are on ESPN, so you guys are a little bit ahead of me. But we're going to go ahead and announce this as soon as I find out who the pick is. And yeah, pretty good picks right now. Okay, here we go. They took a guard. I like this. All right, so with the 143rd overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Ben Bredesen, guard out of Michigan. I give it an A-. This is a smart pick. Protect Lamar, protect Ingram, protect your new running back. I like this pick. A-. If you can beef up that offensive line, maybe even get an option here where you have a little bit more depth. You get a more competitive field when it comes to this. You're right, this does replace Marshall Yanda. He just left. Even better, this is an awesome pick. I give this one an A+. I really like this pick. A- was a little low, in all honesty. Considering that Yanda's gone and they really need to focus on their O-line, I give this one an A+. A couple of guys at chat are saying A. I'm saying A+. We all get the idea there. Great pick all around. The pick is in for... Okay, here's an interesting one. With the 144th overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks select Deejay Dallas, running back out of Miami. This is an interesting one. I kind of like this pick. I give it a B+. He's very talented. He fell a little bit further than I was expecting. Deejay Dallas to Seattle makes a lot of sense. They have Carter down there. Or Carson, I mean, excuse me. They have Carson down there, Chris Carson. He's pretty good. And now he's got a solid backup. I like this. B+. It's a pretty good pick. Carson fumbled a lot, so you like it. Yeah, Carson did have a fumble issue. He's very talented, but he had trouble holding on to the ball. They have too many running backs. Yeah, they're probably going to have to cut somebody here. This is probably just a depth thing at this point to add a little bit more depth, but I do like what they're doing here. The next two picks are the Philadelphia Eagles, so as soon as those are announced, we'll go ahead and confirm them. But yeah, I like this pick right here. I think it's very smart to get Deejay Dallas. He's got some great stats. Did pretty good at the combine from what I remember reading. So yeah, very smart pick here. I like this one. B or B+. Start Dallas and use Carson a third and short yardage. Yeah, I could see that. That'd be a really smart move here. Definitely something that could happen. B+. Yeah, you're saying B+. Exactly. Everybody generally likes this pick. We're all saying B or B+, A-, somewhere in that range. So yeah, Deejay Dallas is a really good pick right now. I like this one. I think the head coach here had a great idea. The guys in the front office obviously knew that Carson may have some issues. I think the Eagles are not choosing because they're getting Jeffries and Jackson back. That's possible. They have Penny, Carson, Turbin, Marshawn, and more. They won't start him. That's true. The Eagles got to take wide receivers here. They have 2 picks. They can get 2 wide receivers. Still plenty of great guys on the board. Some of the less talked about receivers here. Deshaun Jackson's getting kind of old. Carson has a hip injury. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. So that may impact his ability to play next season. But the next 2... Oh, let's go ahead and stretch. The next 2 picks are the Philadelphia Eagles. And we just hit 1.5 hours on the stream. Thank you all for sticking around. Ooh, fractured hip. That's not good at all. That can definitely negatively impact his play style. Like I said, the next 2 picks are the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're going to go ahead and see who they get. Everybody's saying wide receiver. I'm hoping they take wide receiver here. Not a whole lot of really good receivers on the board. Still some decent players that they could add for some depth. That's a career-ending injury for running back. Oh, yikes. I didn't realize it was that bad. I know like a torn knee, like what happened to Terrell Davis, can end a career. I didn't think about a fractured hip ending a career, but that's definitely possible. If that's the case, then they may have to play with Dallas a lot more than we'd expected. We'll have to see what happens there. Okay. Bryce Hall would be the worst case possible for a Dallas fan right here. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Still some solid wide receivers on the board. None of the top guys, but still plenty of good options. We all know the Eagles need a wide receiver. They've got back-to-back picks to end the 4th round. And I think that receiver here should be a pretty obvious selection. Jeffrey is really good. I'm a huge fan of him. Deshaun Jackson's a speedster. I've been a fan of him for years. but he is getting on up there in age. He's 38, I think, if I'm not mistaken. 37 or 38. I think he's 38. So he probably only has a couple of years left. He may be a little bit younger than that, but I'm not sure offhand. Obliterate, welcome back. The two picks up next to end this round. Honestly, I choose O-line to protect Carson, specifically a center. Yeah, well, Matt Hennessy's off the board, and the guy that we took, Lloyd Cushenberry's off the board. Eagles pick is in. Yes, as soon as it's announced. Big fan of Jeffrey. Yes, Jeffrey was amazing. Do I think Alex Smith plays again? I think he's done. He's a highly talented quarterback. Absolutely loved watching him play. Jason Kelsey's their center. Okay, yeah, so then they just need a backup center then. And also, for those of you that play Madden Mobile, you know how much of a pain Jason Kelsey, middle linebacker, is. He is a shutdown, and I'm very tempted to get him. We'll have to see what happens in game, though. I'm going to check something, and then we'll announce this pick as soon as it comes in. Pick is in. I still don't see it yet. I'm really hoping that they take wide receiver here. Wide receiver center would be smart, too. Madden Mobile playing with fans one day, maybe. It's really hard to stream on iOS, which is what I do. But it would be fun to get to play with you guys. It all depends on what happens here. I may try and do something like that. Agreed, I can't stand my middle linebacker's too good like a glitch. Yes, I'm so not a fan of Jason Kelsey, middle linebacker. 95, 96 speed, something like that, on a big, beefy guy is nearly impossible to run against Jason Kelsey, middle linebacker. I don't think they realized how good he was when they made him, and then rather than to nerf his stats, they just left him. That being said, I'll probably get him, make him my main middle linebacker, and then move Van Der Esch to the one that alternates in and out, 4-3 I think that is, or 3-4, whichever one has the extra linebacker. I don't remember if it's 4-3 or 3-4 in all honesty. I think it's 3-4 that has the extra linebacker. Pick is in for the Eagles, and the next pick coming up is the Eagles. Kelsey is annoying. Yes, Kelsey is really annoying. Okay, it's 3-4. That's right. 3 men up front and then 4 linebackers behind. Okay, this is an interesting pick. With the 145th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles have selected an offensive tackle, Jake Driscoll, the offensive tackle out of Auburn. Smart move here, A-. They're beefing up that offensive line. I really like this pick, A-. They've got to protect their quarterback. Carson Wentz is getting hit a lot. And I think a really smart guy like this, like Jack Driscoll, is a great option here. Probably one of the best guys on the board. A-, somewhere in that range. I see somebody else in the chat saying A. This is all around a great pick, very smart. They have to protect their quarterback. Now on the next pick, I expect wide receiver. We could also see another offensive lineman. A guard maybe, a center, maybe another tackle for the other side. I could see another tackle here because they do have Jason Kelsey, but I don't really know if he has a decent backup. So we'll have to see what happens there. Altogether, though, Jake Driscoll gets an A or an A- in my book. That's a very solid choice to beef up their line. He was a powerhouse with Auburn and made some very, very smart moves to keep the Auburn quarterback safe, and I expect to see the same when he's trying to keep the Eagles quarterback safe. Hello, I'm new to your channel. Calvin, thank you so much for joining. If you're new, which you said you were, please go ahead and give the stream a thumbs up and also subscribe. I do drop Madden content pretty... Whoa! Dallas is on the clock. Hold up. Dallas traded up. What is going on here? Dallas traded up into the 4th. I don't know what's going on here. This will be interesting to see. I'm kind of impressed here. They have the very last pick, and their pick is in. They know who they want. They jumped up to get somebody. Dallas took the last pick, traded with us, not you, dang rivals. All right, so let's see who they take. They went up in the draft. They had some 5th round, 6th round picks. They wanted in at the end of the 4th round. There's a guy they had on their mind, a guy they wanted, and now we're waiting for it to be confirmed. We do have 10 in the stream. Dallas just jumped in back into the 4th round, so we're going to get to announce who they got here in a second. This is interesting. I could see Weaver. Hall is an option too. Okay, I see you saying Weaver or Hall. Completely agree there. Weaver is a very possible option here. Hall wouldn't be bad either. This is the 146th overall pick in the draft. Still plenty of time. But yeah, I do like this pick. I think this is smart. Whoa! Yes! Yes! Great idea here. Okay. A+ here. A+. I love this pick. With the 146th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys moved up in the draft and selected Tyre Biadasz, the center from Wisconsin. With Travis Frederick gone, this is a great pick, A+. They've got to secure the hole right here. Frederick leaving is a huge, huge hole. They lost one of the best offensive linemen in the league. And picking up a center here after losing Travis Frederick is really smart. I definitely like their pick. A+ here. Biadasz was an amazing player. Everybody's saying A and A+. I fully agree. This is one of the best picks in the 4th round. Huge fan of this one. Yeah, but Tyler Biadasz is a great pick here. Very impressed. Checking on something here. I'm actually surprised he fell as low as he did. I'm very impressed with this pick. I like this pick. Like I said, this is a great move for them. They needed to go ahead and get that position filled, and they did. Frederick to Wisconsin. Went to Wisconsin too. Yes, that's pretty cool. Worst pick from the 4th round. I didn't really see a whole lot of bad picks in the 4th round. I saw a couple that were maybe questionable. But I don't really see any bad picks here. Let me scroll on through. One that did kind of surprise me, if I had to say the worst pick of this round, would be Rashard Lawrence to Arizona. What position do you think the Niners are going to take on 156? Maybe if Fromm is still there, they take him as a backup. A lot of O-line in this draft. Yeah, we've had a lot of really good O-linemen. Kareem, okay, with the first pick in the 5th round has been announced, so I'll go ahead and call it. With the 147th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals have selected edge rusher from Notre Dame, Khalid Kareem. I give this one a B+. Pretty solid. They got Carlos Dunlap. They got Burfict. A lot of B picks in the 4th. Yeah, a lot of B picks. I didn't see a whole lot of A+ picks in this one. But some solid B picks. And this edge rusher, I give a B+. He's going to work alongside Carlos Dunlap. He's going to get the little inconsistencies that he's had throughout the season. He'll get those fixed. He'll be a really good pass rusher here in a little while. Great on the edge. Not really any C ratings. No, all solid around. Bs. Bengals taking advantage. Yeah, Bengals are getting some really good guys. Bengals may have won this draft. Okay, here we go. With the 148th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks, somebody was asking about the Seahawks a second ago. Seahawks select Alton Robinson, edge rusher from Syracuse. I give this one B-. Maybe just, I'll give it a solid B. A solid B. Edge rushers are always really good. This is a great pickup for them. So yeah, this is not too bad. I like this one. I say B, maybe a B-. Best pick from the 4th round. I really like Troy Dye, so I think picking Troy Dye was really smart. Having him alongside Anthony Barr for the Vikings was genius. I absolutely love that pick. And I fully think that may be one of the best picks. Who do you think the Broncos are picking up? We need to focus on O-line. I could see us taking an offensive guard because that would give us a new center, a new guard. That'd be really good for us. The pick is in for the Colts. I will be right back and we'll announce that pick. Okay. How are we doing on time, you think? Because the 5th round just started. I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to do the 5th round too. I think I'll go ahead and call the 5th. We're having a lot of really good stuff happening here. Troy Dye was an amazing pick. I really liked that one. Yeah, the Vikings picked him up. He's working alongside Anthony Barr. That's a great pick. Jacob Easton is another really good one. The Colts got him as a backup for Rivers. I'm a huge fan of that pick. They needed some quarterback, like a backup challenge there, and I think they got it. All right, we are back for the 5th round. So, if you guys want another round called, we're back. Let me go ahead real quick and edit the name of this. Ball State. All right, yes, a player from Ball State was taken. I'm going to see if there's a way that I can edit the name. I'm not sure if I can edit the name of this. I know this is kind of weird. You guys are just seeing my thumb. I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? We're going to cut right here for the 4th round, and then I'm going to go live again for the 5th round. Does that sound okay to you guys? So we'll have the 4th round in its own video so people can watch the replay of the 4th round, and then I'll go live for the 5th round. So I will be right back. And this will also keep this video from being incredibly long because I'm going to go and grab a couple of highlights off of this as well. We'll do a quick recap of the first couple of picks and be right back for the 5th round because this is too exciting to not do. I'm going to go ahead and cut this right here, and you should see a new stream come up sometime in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, it should come up really quick, 2 or 3 minutes, maybe even faster than that, just as long as I can get it out. Let's go ahead and end right here.